Welcome back to the channel. Today what I'm going to be talking about is my stack. Not my enhancement stack, but my vitamin stack. This right here is something that I started doing once I became 50. I started having a vitamin stack. I don't eat as much of a variety of food, so I miss a lot of vitamins and minerals that I normally would think that a person would have to need. But this particular stack right here is something that I take throughout the day, and it basically has a lot to do with blood flow. And that right there is the main thing that naturals need in order for them to be able to get that pump that they want in the gym. Yeah, it don't have a whole lot to do with a lot of the pump elixirs and stuff that they sell or whatever. This is my own thing. It's vitamins or whatever. Sometimes at some point I may use some of the things that they sell for pre-workouts and stuff like that, but I don't. So right now, for the last 4 years, I've been using these vitamins. And the thing about it is that, again, when a natural person want to go to the gym, the most important thing for a natural person that's lifting weights and they're trying to stay in shape or increase the muscle size, it has everything to do with consistency. You have to always have those muscles engorged with blood and minerals and everything it needs to repair itself. You have to do just enough to break the muscle down and allow just enough time for it to heal up. Because if you do too less of a workout, then you won't have the muscle hypertrophy that you need to make the muscle grow. If you wait too long before your next workout, then you kind of lose out on all the benefits, because your body won't, it'll recover, but it'll digress, it'll go backwards some. But one good thing about being natural is the mere fact that you get to keep a lot of the stuff that you build, because it just don't go away. I've said that I don't know how many times, but if you're enhanced, within 3 months, you're not going to look like you even lift weights. That's just the way it is. But naturals, in 3 months, you're going to look the same. You probably will get bigger simply because, the muscle would have a chance to really rest and recuperate, and at the same time, you'll gain a little bit more weight just because of that. So if you don't want to send your health downhill just to have 20-inch arms or whatever, by all means, the best thing to do is stay natural. And you got to be consistent. Now, this is something that a lot of those YouTubers, fitness YouTubers, don't talk about. They give you all this imaginary life that they live, Most of us have to go to work. You have to go to work. You're going to be tired. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. That's just life itself. But nobody wants to look at that. They always want to be in this, I say, some type of fantasy world or something like that. That's because that's the only way it can be described. But real life requires that you go to work, you pay your bills, you take care of your kids, you help them with their homework. You don't see none of these fitness people talking about their everyday life, what they're doing every day. None of them talk about that. So the thing about it is that whatever it is that they're showing you is not real. It's just like most of them are enhanced. They're on something. You got a lot of drugs out there besides steroids, so that would allow you to be able to get larger and things like that. You got a lot of different drugs out there, and at some point we'll talk about the different kinds that they do have. But Uh, the vitamin stack that I just showed you, that right there is something that promotes sleep, relaxation, blood flow. All of those vitamins that I just showed you, that's what the purpose of them are. And that's why I started taking them once I became older. Now, younger, I took the protein powders, all the other stuff, same thing, amino acids, same things that you all take now. And they do work, but they'll drive your blood levels over in order for them to do what it is that they're supposed to be doing. But they do work. I just don't, use a lot of them as of now. Back then I did. Now I don't use them. I just do my vitamins and I eat and I work out as regular as possible. Now, that's one thing that they may not tell you, is that they're always talking about making time. But just last week, I had 3 off days. All of my off days were with my wife over at that house that we rebuilding, that my grandmother's old house. We spent 3 days over there, and we spent 3 days over there putting in windows and things like that. And that's on my off day. Then I got to go back to work, and I'm working nights. Then the next couple of days, it's time to switch back over because we're doing those swing shifts. Now it's time to switch back over to days. So you're really not resting the way you want to. So that's why some of those vitamins kind of help relaxes you. It take away a lot of the stress and stuff like that. Makes you feel more calm. Makes you sleep better, sleep longer. And that way, when you do work out, you get more of a benefit from it. But it's like I said before, this is the real world. This is what real people have to live with and do. You have to work. And it's like I said, we talking about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We talking about a whole day worth of putting in windows in this house. Because that was our goal, to put the windows back in. Because a lot of times when it comes down to homeless people roaming around, they'll go into them houses and stuff like that. And that's the last thing that you want when it comes down to your property. You don't want people going back and forth inside your property, causing damage and doing God knows what else. You don't want all that kind of stuff. So that's just the way it is. You don't want that to go on. So in reality, we all have to get out there and do what we do. This YouTube stuff and all that kind of stuff, that's like a side thing. That's just something else I do. I also do photography. I do the mechanic. I showed you all the videos. I do paint and body. I rebuild engines. I got a whole lot of things that I do. And I'm always being asked by somebody to do something, to fix something, to build something, carpentry, because that's where the skills come in for the house, to rebuild a house and stuff like that. So got a whole lot of skills, got a whole lot of things that I do, got a whole lot of people always asking me different things. So you have to, that's like I said, that's the real world. You have to kind of juggle all that stuff because you're trying to make this extra money doing this, doing that. That's just life itself. But these vitamins are the vitamins that I trust to be pretty decent vitamins. And I take them, like I said, to do those things, help me sleep, take stress off, increase the blood flow, get better pumps as far as being in the gym. Not a whole lot of caffeine and stuff like a lot of these elixirs and stuff that you buy. You have to worry about a lot of caffeine intake. I do drink my coffee, but that's limited. But you want that blood flow. You want your consistency. Again, with that blood flow is a natural person's gold mine. That's the, for lack of a better word, that's the secret to it, to get a natural person growing the way they want to. And the thing about it is, once you stop trying to ego lift, trying to lift real heavy weights, because it's like I said, you know, those heavy weights are strictly for strength. They're strictly localizing on tendons. They're not going to inflate the muscles at all. They're not going to do it. The only way you're going to get the muscles inflated is that you lower the weight, higher reps, keep your sets between 10 to 12, and you're going to make it. Every now and then you can do strength type of stuff because you do want your tendons strong. And the stronger your tendons are, the heavier your 10 to 12 reps weight can be. That's the way it works. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.